means like the break it big or to hit like if you're digging in the ground and you're looking for cool rocks, you dig down, you're like, oh, I hit some no, because you found which cool rock to dig. I hit some other rock.
Camera, go ahead.
Oh.
I don't want you to just be staring at the back of our heads the whole time.
No, what we'll do is, you guys didn't get a picture here yet, did you?
No.
When we come out, we'll take a picture of you. We'll use your phones, your camera, whatever,
Okay.
and we'll get your pictures. Minecraft, you hear the term portal in Minecraft if you've ever played it. This is the portal to the mine, the opening to the mine.
Shows you what he does on his days off.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen it, but my grandkids talk about it all the time. You know, I can't get away from them on that. This is the portal, the opening. It is raining in there, a little. What we're going to do, though, we're going to move quickly. The rain that we've got is it's water filtering down from up above. He loves to joke around. So what's he tell the group? Well, we've got a problem with the porta potty up on top of the hill, and it's leaking through. And a couple of the kids believed it. They want it out. It's not. It's not. The rainwater is filtering through the rock. It's filtering down through here. It will not hurt you. It's not a problem. The air quality in here is good. But what we're going to go into, we're going to go in the mine. This is not a tunnel, even though we refer to it that way all the time. We're going to move through this section, then I'll stop and we'll talk some more. Everybody okay?
You can go first.
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay, let's move through here.
Come on, bud. Go a little quicker.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
Come on up here. That has gold in it because it's pretty clear quartz. It's pretty white. You know, they're looking for the rusty, real dark, rustier colored quartz. And we're going to see a lot of these veins in here. But you've got multiple kinds of rock in here. Carbonaceous slate. It's a slate product that they use in architecture and stuff. Anybody been to Disneyland before?
Yeah.
If you're in Disneyland and you're walking on some of the pathways down there and you see a black walkway, kind of polished, that slate was mined by Disney engineers back in the 50s when they built Disneyland. Over here, soft rock. This is talc schist. You know what talcum powder is? The adults know what it is because we were powdered with it when we were babies. You know, today they don't use this. They grind this up and make talcum powder out of it. Today they don't use it because it's got some of it has asbestos in it. So now the baby powders do not have any of that, or any powder that you get probably here. And I'll show you some of these things you're going to see that on here. Some of this shiny rock and stuff. We'll talk more about when we get farther in. You're gonna get it all, aren't you? It's already on
Most of it.
It's all over YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to look up. This is called a stope, S-T-O-P-E, mine terminology. They were following a vein up, and they blasted and worked their way up into here. That goes up 35 feet and over 8 feet. It's not a place that I would want to be climbing around in, but you also see this piece of wood right here. That's called a stull, S-T-U-L-L. Anybody ever climbed on monkey bars?
Yeah. No.
You will when you get up into school. You're going to be climbing on them probably. Most of the adults probably all climbed on them in school. I would call that a miner's monkey bar. Stull. It actually, what they did was, when they wanted to get up there, they would chisel into the wall, put a little spot in the wall on both sides, get a piece of timber out of the forest, put it in there, wedge it in, and that's what they used to climb up there to mine that. They didn't have ladders. They didn't have scaffolding like we, that we could deal with. And also, you think about it with a ladder, back in their day, we have ladders that collapse down to 2 feet, and you can extend them up. We have a lot of ways we could do it. They had none of that. So you got a solid ceiling in here, and they want to go up. They have to go, as they go, they have to build something in to climb up on. So they had these probably in the day, they probably had dozens of those up in there that they were climbing around on. That's the only original piece of wood that we know of in this mine.
Wow.
Because of the distance we're in right now, the estimate is that piece of wood right there is about 100 years old. All the other wood rotted out over the years because of the moisture. That one's still there. It's still doing its thing. I don't know why, but it's held up. What they were doing, this mine was done in dynamite and black powder. They would punch a hole in the wall, put a stick of dynamite in there, light the stick of dynamite, blast it, and then all the material that in this ADIT, this area we're in, all this had to be taken out. There's nowhere to put it. So they had mine cars, they had rails all the way through here. They would push, and you'll see some up here. They'd push the ore out to the front, but they would drill these holes by hand. They had a drill steel, a rod. It looks kind of like a chisel. They'd put that up there. They'd have a small sledgehammer. They would hit it, and every time they hit it, they turned it a quarter of a turn, and hit it and turn it a quarter of a turn. And the reason they turned it a quarter of a turn was, if they didn't, it would stay in the wall. They couldn't get it out. So they're breaking the rock, is what they're doing. Hit it, twist it. Hit it, twist it. Rake the material out, stick the dynamite in there. One guy doing it's called single jacking, because he's by himself, he's doing it this way. Double jacking, another individual, they'd have a longer rod, another individual would hold the rod with the hands. The guy with the sledgehammer, which is now a 15-pound sledgehammer, or more, potentially bigger, would hit it, and then he'd twist it, and hit it, and twist it. Well, I don't want to be the guy hanging onto that rod while this guy's swinging a 12, 15-pound sledgehammer. Pretty dangerous. We were talking about rocks growing. Do you see these? Those are stalactites. The water is dripping down. You can see the water dripping on them. And as it's dripping down, it's depositing calcium carbonate on there, and it keeps depositing it, and they keep growing, and they get bigger and bigger. There's lots of them in here in the mine. This is flow stone, they call it, because the water's running down and the minerals are getting deposited in there. We have all different colored ones in here, depending on the minerals. But these little guys right here, to give you an idea, this one right here is probably about 100 years old. They only grow about 1/2 to 1 inch every 100 years. We don't touch them because we don't want the oil on our skin to get on them and stop the growth. So there's lots of them in here, but we just kind of leave them be and let them do their thing. And eventually, they just keep coming and coming.
Want my hat on, dude?
Come on up over there. Stand, yeah, up in there is fine. Just want to get everybody up. Is everybody doing okay?
Yeah.
Am I giving you too much info?
Nope.
I can run, I can move you through here fast.
I'm enjoying it.
Here's some more of that flowstone. Look at the color in that. The neat thing about this is some of them are wet, some are dry, but you can't hardly tell the difference. It still shines even when it's not wet.
Wow.
And you see crystals growing up here in the quartz and in the other rock formations and stuff. You see a little sparkle? That's not gold, just little crystals. Unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought you said moon.
No, not moon.
On over here, real quick. What happened was they got up to here and they found a vein that was going in this direction, so they call this a drift. They drifted into here, following the vein. They got back there to that wall back there, and the gold ran out. When the gold runs out, and again, mining terminology, it's called pinching out. The gold pinched out. There was no more gold. They still had some quartz veins, but they just weren't finding gold. But they also had a vein that went up. Come in here and take a look at this.
It's pretty high.
This is a stope that went up. Yeah, rotate around so everybody can get a look while I got the rocks. They would put one of these in, and as they're going up, they would put the rock into it, the ore into it. Then they would pull their mine car up. They have a door on it. They'd pull the lever. 750,000 pounds of rock would pour into one of these metal carts. Weight about 1,200, 1,300 pounds. How do you think one person could push this all the way out to the end weighing 1,300 pounds? What you didn't notice was when we came in, we were walking slightly uphill. Very slightly. Gravity.
Wow.
Push it out because you're rolling it downhill slightly. Once they get it out, they empty it. It only weighs 250 pounds. One person could push it back because it didn't weigh as much. And they also did that to drain the mine, to make sure the water would flow out of the mine. I guess the big issue there is that, can you imagine 750 pounds, 800 pounds of rock coming out of there? That's 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Scared me.
Not an ore.
It's okay.
Ore, that's what it looked like when they were wheeling it out. If you look down here at the bottom, you will see rail down here and you'll see the cross ties in there. That's what this floor in here, in this whole place looked like back in the day they were mining it. What we're walking on is ADA compliant flooring. We did that so we could take tours in here and people without falling. You know, this has been here for years too. And there's also a drain underneath it that gets a lot of the water, if there's any water in here, out of here. But that's what it looked like when you see that down there. What do you see in the back wall?
Dynamite fuses.
Dynamite fuse. 8 holes back there, 8 sticks of dynamite. They would light the dynamite, and then they would, if there's 8 holes back there, they would count the booms. Boom, 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 boom. They'd count it. They want to hear 8. What happens when they had only heard 7?
One didn't go off.
They'd send the new guy in, and he would go through the rubble and find the stick that didn't go off. Nobody was ever killed in here that we have any record, know anything about. But in mines across the country, there was a lot of dangerous things that were done in these mines that killed a lot
So
of people.
how much does one stick like chip away?
It depends on the rock formation, and what they do is they got used to using it. Sometimes they only used a half a stick, sometimes a quarter of a stick. But what you see there is an example of what they would do to get this kind of an opening in this rock. And what they would kind of do is experiment with it till they figured it out. And then they would decide how many holes, how big a charge to put in there, and when they set them off. You know, so there's a lot of variables when they were doing this. A lot of stuff was just guesswork. They could time the fuses because they knew how fast the fuses burned. If they could buy a fuse that burned 1 foot every 10 seconds. So if they wanted 30 seconds, you put in 3 feet of fuse. You know, they could time it that way to get it out. You ever heard the term fire in the hole?
Yeah.
This is where it came from, mining. Dynamite in the hole, light it, yell fire in the hole, and run and get out. And that. And then you look right behind you on the other wall over here. This flowstone, look at this. Look at the color in that.
Oh wow.
Totally different, huh?
Great.
Just tell me what to do. Kaden, go to the left, just a step.
Okay, guys? We're going to move through this water area again. This is the area we're kind of most sensitive about right now. We kind of want to.
Has it not always been raining water like this?
You know, there's.
Can I get both you guys in that? Thank you.
Yeah, Kaden, real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we can do it there, our own discretion, and if nobody else is in here.
Okay.
And also, I can see she's just a vicious attack on us.
Yeah.
She's pretty out of control.
Everybody's in danger.
Wow.
So what exactly is a stamp mill?
This is a stamp mill. This is what they use to crush the quartz to get the gold out. So these have 500-pound stamps, so there's 8 of these stamps.
Oh gosh.
So this is called a battery of 8. This was originally turned by water power, and when it turned this camshaft here, these things that look like claws are called cams. When they hit the wide spot of the stamp, like this one's doing, it rises up 8 inches, and then when it clears it, this just falls under its own weight. Just falls by gravity. The quartz is fed into this box from the back. It comes into here, and then these things are the ends of the stamps. This part is called a shoe. This is what one looks like when it's fairly new. This is what one looks like when it's been stamping for about six weeks.
Oh, geez.
6 weeks?
Yeah, of course it's very abrasive. And so
Wow.
this one, every time it lifts, it does a little turn to give even wear on the stamp, like this one's been worn. If it doesn't get worn evenly, it looks like this. Underneath each of the stamps is one of these. This is a die, and this is what a brand new one looks like. These wear down to there in about 3 months. And I don't want to startle the pooch there, but normally I'll pick it up. She could be okay if I pick it up and drop it. Okay. So yeah, the whole premise is the quartz washes in, falls on here. This comes up, comes down like that. And that crushes the quartz.
So it'd
When
be
this-
continuous, like it'd be constantly moving.
Yes, and
So
it'd
it's
be
super
very,
loud in here.
very fast, very loud. Each of these, when this is running full speed, drop at the rate of 104 times a minute. So that noise I just generated, you'd hear that 832 times a minute.
So you don't even probably hear it hitting. It's just
No,
a constant.
It's a constant roar. Yeah.
Wow.
And how small do they crush everything down to?
Everything goes in about the size. This looks like you could crush big old pieces of quartz like that. It can't. The largest piece you could put in there is this, about 2 inches. And then that stays in there, and there's water washing through here until it can wash through that screen right there.
Oh my gosh, wow.
So it's basically a
Oh
fine
gosh, so
sand.
really little.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so water would flow through here and out
Yes.
somewhere?
It would flow out here,
Oh,
and
okay.
once the stuff is small enough, it would go through that screen
gotcha.
and out onto this plate.
Oh.
And this plate is lined with copper, and the reason is copper likes the noble metals. Gold, silver, platinum group, and so, and mercury. And so mercury likes all the whole noble.
That's
Wow.
pretty ingenious, though.
Yeah,
That's pretty incredible.
yeah.
Sean.
Oh yeah. It's just like New Jersey, huh?
between these mountains are, here in the mountains are huge. Like Rocky Mountains, they're just slightly smaller than them.